Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, September 25th, and I'm your host, Krista McDonald. Starting Monday, September 28th, Governor Baker has announced that restaurants will now be able to seat people at a bar counter with the proper precautions. Also, the party size has been increased from a maximum party of 6 to 10 people in your party. Norwood's Public Health Director, Sigal Reese, updates the Norwood community on what to expect.
So effective on the 28th, the governor has expanding the table size seating, the party size seating at restaurants. They can be up to 10 people sitting together now. There were some changes also as far as seating at the bar. Bars still need to remain closed, but they can use the bar as seating. And all the same restrictions apply in that the parties need to be 6 feet apart. I think a difficult part for establishments to be able to figure out is going to be the bartender, because they still need to maintain any of their workstations 6 feet apart from where the customers are sitting. So it's going to take some time and effort to figure that all out, where you can still maintain the 6-foot separation, but you can have people sitting at the bar.
Sigal also gives Norwood an update on retail self-service beverage options.
In addition to the restaurant changes, there have been slight changes for retail operations in that they do now allow beverage service, self-serve beverage service. All other self-service like buffets are still closed, and beverage service in restaurants, self-service is still closed. But retail operations can allow customers to get their own drinks.
Thanks, Sigal, for all your hard work as always. Monday was the first time some students came back to school in person. Norwood is having a staggered start, and all the students return on Monday. Teachers and administrators worked hard over the summer to plan for the return to school, and there are many changes. At the Prescott School, Principal Brian Riley admits that it is different, but he's happy to have the children back in school.
It's been a great start to our year here at the Prescott School. We've spent all summer looking at our health and safety procedures and policies, our curriculum work, and we really were well prepared to start this school year. This week we welcome back our kindergarten through second grade PACS program with Mrs. Colley and our first and second graders who are participating in the hybrid model into the building. Some of the changes that you'll see around the school are just generally 6 feet apart for everything, whether that's teacher desks, student desks, walking in the hallway. We've put arrows on the ground, different signage around the building to remind everyone who may come into the building that we're expecting masks to be worn and good hand hygiene. Some of the procedures that we've been really thoughtful about is things like lunch, is making sure that we're partnering with Chartwells, who's our food service provider here, to make lunch as safe and efficient as possible for all of our students while maintaining access to food for all of our kids. The second thing is our arrival and dismissal. So typically in a year we have a pretty shortened arrival period, maybe of 10 or 15 minutes, where kids come and access one part of the building where everyone congregates and has a little bit of fun before school starts. We've really spread that out to not only in terms of space and time. So we're now up to 3 entrances in the building. Parents can either drop their child off in our drop and go lane. They can access the back of the school from some of our streets right behind the school, and also our Old Farm Road entrance. So we have 3 different entrances that students can enter when they come into the building. This has significantly decreased our congestion, not only in the building but on campus with our traffic, and really allowed for us to check in with every kid when they come in the building in the morning. We're making sure that they've had breakfast before they go to their classrooms. We're making sure that they hand sanitize and have a mask on. And also just seeing how they're feeling. We're asking kids how they're feeling today and making sure that everyone's coming in and feeling good. So our logistics so far have gone really well. This staggered arrival and staggered really start to the school year has allowed us to test out a couple of different things. Teachers are getting comfortable and really start to have conversations around what might have to be changed or tweaked or not changed before the rest of our students come back next week. The second big undertaking this summer was a real look at what our student learning experience was. Last spring, when we had our emergency closure, it was a mad dash, especially at the elementary level, who didn't have one-to-one devices, to create an emergency plan for our kids to continue learning through the end of the school year. We've now had a number of months to really think about what our student learning experience for Norwood Public Schools will be at the elementary level. This summer, we engaged around 20 teachers, classroom teachers, special educators, English language learner teachers, our math and ELA coordinator, and elementary principals to really come up with what experience we want our kids to have this year if they're learning at home and at school. We took a look at all of our curriculum. We talked about different technology tools that we might need, and really engaged with multiple stakeholders, our technology department, our special educators, to figure out how we could make a really robust learning experience for our kids. Some of those things included onboarding new platforms like Seesaw for our lower grades that really increases student engagement and family collaboration. Looking at making sure that the lessons that we're offering students when they're learning at home are high engagement, are interesting, and the teachers have the resources they need. We were able, based upon the state, we were able to have additional days at the start of the year to really allow teachers to get comfortable. To give you an idea, that was teachers collaborating with each other around the work that our summer teams did to sort of set our students and staff up for success, to get comfortable with our technology tools, and really to ask questions around health and safety. And that was definitely a huge success. We did a survey here at the Prescott School and really want to see what staff thought about that. And 100% of our staff here at the Prescott said that the collaborative time was well spent and that the professional development days were well organized and met the needs that they thought that they needed at the start of the year. So overall, a huge success. And thinking about it from sort of a Bill Belichick point of view, it's everyone, it's a team, it's not one person. The team has come together, and this has really been a team win at the start of the year. So it's been a great start to the year, and I'm certainly looking forward to having a fantastic year with our students.
Things look different in the classroom this year, but the teaching and learning will continue. NCM will continue to provide updates on the start of school this year. Stay tuned after this break for more town news.
Hey Norwood, Aubrey here, and excited to announce the launch of the Impaction podcast, inspiring meaningful prevention through action. I know that substance use prevention sounds kind of boring, but I actually find it really exciting. It gives me a chance to engage with the community to create a healthy environment for youth and adults alike. In this podcast, we'll be talking about things such as mental health promotion, anxiety reduction, and how to keep youth safe as they grow in our community. If you have any specific topics you would like Impact Norwood to cover in this podcast, please feel free to email Aubrey Ciol, ACIOL, at norwoodma.gov, or visit the Impact Norwood website. There's a space there to submit questions or requests for podcast topics. We look forward to hearing from you.
Welcome back. 2 weeks ago, some Norwood youth held a car wash at the municipal lot to raise money for the people of Beirut after a massive explosion destroyed part of the city. They raised an overwhelming amount of money for a great cause they hold close to them. NHS graduate Adeline Junaid explains what this means to her.
Being a part of the diaspora and not being able to be actually in Lebanon was really difficult on not only me, but my family and my friends. And we knew that we had to do something. A lot of my family does live in Norwood, so we came together, me and my cousins, and we organized a car wash to raise funds for the Lebanese Red Cross, the true responders. So because of everyone's generosity, we raised over $7,000. Just washing cars and you know, getting the word out there, I think, was the biggest part, and being there with a smile and to sort of be there for our people. I've always thought community is the most important thing in anyone's life. You know, you can't do things on your own, and there's a certain power that comes with community. So to be able to be with my Lebanese friends and just sort of show up for each other, I guess, essentially, to really put our forces together and our efforts together. We can't do much. You know, we can't go and we can't clean up the city with our family. And so definitely go to the Lebanese Red Cross website and click donate. What's mostly appreciated is if you can commit to a monthly donation to, you know, keep the commitment going. So all we really can do is donate money and make the word known and try to get people out there to help out. So the community is amazing, and it's the most amazing feeling in the world to know that, you know, there are people to help.
Awesome job to everyone involved. If you have driven around town over the past few months, you might have noticed the municipal town parking lots being repaved. This was a result of a town meeting article that was voted on in May of 2019. For more on this, we go to Brian Boudreau with a new segment called Your Money at Work.
Motion number 2 under capital outlay is for a total of $3,021,000, and we are authorizing borrowing under the motion. And the language that was read by Mr. Slater and which was on the screen earlier, these are the purposes for which the money is proposed to be raised. Requiring a 2/3 vote on that. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say no. That has carried unanimously.
Last May, in this auditorium, town meeting approved Article 11, which stated, to see what sums of money the town will vote to raise or transfer from taxation, from surplus revenue, or other available funds to appropriate for the cost of capital projects. There was little discussion and the article passed unanimously. 1 year later, under the supervision of Mark Ryan and the DPW, crews were out stripping the town lots and beginning the resurfacing project.
So the process for this project basically is removing the asphalt, the existing asphalt, range anywhere from a thickness of 3 inches to 6 inches in some locations. So the contractor would strip that asphalt out, bring in new gravel, regrade it, replace some granite curbing where necessary, install some cement concrete sidewalks where necessary, and then put the first coat of asphalt down. On this particular lot we're standing at right now, it has the first coat of asphalt, what we call the binder. It's 1.5 inches thick, and very shortly we're going to be following up with the top course of asphalt, which is also 1.5 inches thick. After the asphalt's installed, we come back with the pavement marking contractor who restores the parking spots, handicap spots, and crosswalks.
The lot across from the Civic wasn't the only lot to be resurfaced. There were 7 lots in total.
I'm at the municipal parking lot behind the Norwood Theater across from the Norwood Civic Center. This is one of 7 parking lots that we are recently constructed or about to complete. Monies were approved at the May of 2019 town meeting, $1.1 million to do these 7 parking lots totaling 270,000 square feet of asphalt. We used 6,000 tons of asphalt as part of this project. The parking lots that have been done and are about to be completed include the Senior Center parking lot, Post Office parking lot at Central and Day Street, this parking lot, the municipal parking lot behind the theater at Manhattan Broadway East Cottage, the Talbot parking lot, or AKA the Babel's parking lot, and then the 2 parking lots next to Town Hall, the immediate one at the Town Hall property and then the one adjacent to it next to Norwood Printing. We had a contractor, Walsh Contracting, bid in this job, and we are making great progress and looking forward to this being completed.
Town meeting has many responsibilities. Approving the fiscal budget is the most important. But not to be overlooked are the smaller but more visible capital projects. Those projects are taxpayers' money being used for the betterment of the town. I'm Brian Boudreau, and that's your money at work.
Thanks, Brian. And now we're going to toss it over to our other Brian, Brian Dunn, with an exciting fall sports announcement.
Hello, and welcome into the sports update for this week. Behind me you see an empty set of bleachers, and it's going to remain that way as the Tri-Valley League has voted to eliminate spectators from all Fall 1 sporting events this fall, which has rocked not only parents and athletes, but the Norwood community as a whole. That's why NCM is proud to announce that in this field behind me, all games, including varsity and JV, will be broadcasted and streamed live on Norwood Community Media. Since you can't be here, here's how you can watch all Fall 1 sporting events online and on Norwood Community Media. Starting Saturday, October 10th, you can catch all varsity and JV games of boys and girls soccer and field hockey live on NCM. Golf and cross country will be covered and featured on our weekly sports update. Some important info on how to access us first. All of our games will be broadcasted on the NCM community channel. The channel lineup is as follows: Channel 23 or 623 for Norwood Light, Channel 35 or 2135 for HD Verizon customers, and Channel 8 for Comcast. If you don't have access to cable or simply want to take us on the go, we will also be streaming all of our broadcasts on our website at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. If you're on a laptop, computer, or mobile device, simply click on the community channel box on our homepage and start playing our stream. It's that easy. If for any reason you can't catch the game live, not to worry, as all of our games will be archived and available on demand on our website at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Simply go to our VOD schedule tab and click on community programs. All of our games can also be found on our YouTube page by searching for Norwood Community Media. We have playlists on our YouTube channel to make sure you find what you're looking for. NCM is excited to offer this service to the community and continue their coverage of NHS sports. As always, for news and updates surrounding the upcoming Fall 1 season, stay tuned to NCM on social media. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. In school, several Norwood High TV students had the opportunity to be the first seniors back at school. They were in the hallways and classrooms shooting a safety video to demonstrate the new safety procedures for their fellow classmates. Coordinated by Principal Dr. Hugh Galligan, this video will be shown to the entire school on the student newscast NHS Update. Let's take a look at the video.
Welcome back, Mustangs. We hope you're excited to start the new school year.
We will be introducing you to the new safety guidelines of NHS.
Let's get started. NHS opens for students at 7:17. There are 3 ways to enter the building: door 17, door 3, and the main entrance, door 1.
Make sure you wear a mask before entering the building. It is required at all times.
Follow the signs on the door to ensure you're going in the right way.
Good morning, Rose. Remember, go straight to class.
If you're not getting breakfast, make sure to go straight to class as soon as you enter the building.
There will be no lockers or hanging out in the hallways.
The hallways are now one way. They're marked on the floor to show you which way to go. Staircases in the building are now marked as either up or down. The main staircase will be up all day.
However, at dismissal, the main staircase is designated for going down. Since the hallways are now one way, side-by-side walking is totally okay.
Just make sure to keep your distance 6 feet apart.
There are hand sanitizing stations to be used throughout the hallways. When you enter the classroom, make sure to go straight to your assigned seat.
Desks will be placed 6 feet apart to maintain social distancing.
There will be a set of wipes in each classroom. At the end of class, it is required to clean your desk and chair.
Unlike other years, there will be no bells. Your teachers will dismiss you.
Mask breaks are allowed throughout class. Just simply raise your hand and ask your teacher to step outside.
Miss Cummings, can I get a mask break?
While you cannot use the water fountains this year, feel free to bring a water bottle and use the stations to refill.
New this year, NHS has opened up the courtyard. This is available to all students to use as an outdoor hallway.
While using the courtyard, make sure to maintain social distancing and follow the one-way path. If you need to go to the nurse, get a pass from your teacher.
The library is closed until further notice. However, this will be used for overflow classrooms with classes over 12 people.
If you want to go to guidance, make an appointment with your guidance counselor. If it's an emergency, ask your teacher to call down.
At the end of the day, go home, grab some lunch, get ready to log back on.
We hope you have a great year. See you soon.
Stay safe, Mustangs.
That was a high-quality production as always, and proves there is a lot of talent in the NHS TV program. Great job, have an amazing year. In government, the Finance Commission met Monday evening. The commission voted on its annual reorganization, and Bob Donnelly was elected the new chair of the Finance Commission, with Ann Haley taking the vice chair seat. School committee members were present to present a budget outlook, including additional funding amounts for the hybrid school reopening model and a grant funding breakdown. Some discussion ensued involving free cash certification, and the commission discussed a rough outline for the fall special town meeting, targeting for a start date in mid-November. The Finance Commission will meet again in the coming weeks. At Tuesday night's Trails Advisory Committee meeting, the group discussed their trail walk at the end of Meadow Street. Over the weekend, several members of the committee took to the woods and hiked through the land adjacent to Norwood Airport. Committee member Sue Bartlett shared pictures of the trail walk. The next Trails Advisory Committee meeting will be Tuesday, October 13th. Wednesday night, the Community Preservation Committee held a public hearing for CPA project proposals. Travis Farley, superintendent of the Rec Department, began the hearing with two proposals, one being the Murphy Field basketball court resurfacing and the second being a town pool assessment. Next, John Grove of Old Parish Preservation Volunteers presented a master plan for the Old Parish Cemetery. And the final proposal of the night was Judith Howard and Tony Esco presenting a Morse House feasibility study and master plan. The CPC will meet again on October 14th. Also Wednesday night, the school committee met and began with two appearances. First appearance of the night was Eli Norris and Kelsey Masis of Food Services, giving an update on the various programs and offerings to the children across the district. They recapped the summer meals program and outlined how meals will be served to the students across the district during the hybrid model. The second appearance was Aubrey Seal of Impact Norwood. Seal spoke to the diversity in the school and referenced a survey in which students were asked a number of questions, including if they feel like they fit in and if they were comfortable in school. Later in the meeting, Dr. Thompson provided a reopening update to the committee, and Ms. Sheridan discussed multiple budget items, including FY21 budget transfers and a proposal to restructure the NPS Finance Department. In new business, the committee discussed junior custodian contracts, the MOU with the teachers union, and the superintendent goal setting. The school committee will meet again on October 7th. For complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government Channel or watch it on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break for more town news.
Do you want to stay up to date with Norwood Community Media? Then subscribe to our weekly NCM newsletter. Every Friday, our promotions department publishes an online newsletter that highlights the work of NCM and the latest happenings. It includes the full episode of Norwood News, recent clips from NCM programs, behind-the-scenes photos, and so much more. NCM works hard to deliver a steady stream of Norwood content, and this newsletter is another way to stay connected to Norwood. To receive the newsletter, just visit www.norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Scroll to the bottom of the page, click the Sign Up for Our Newsletter button, and enter some basic information. You'll then be added to our newsletter mailing list. It's all here on Norwood Community Media, your home for all things Norwood.
Welcome back. The Norwood Trails Advisory Committee was formed to educate, explore, and encourage the use of existing trails, as well as the development of future trail networks in Norwood and the surrounding region. Chairman Joe Greeley and Norwood Digest's own Jack McCarthy went to explore a very popular trail in town, Endine Park.
So where we were walking, there was tall grass on either side, so who did this for us?
Yep, so this has always been a meadow. Actually, the town bought the whole property from the Bird family. And over time, the DPW especially, they do a great job at maintaining the trails. The cross-country, the junior high and the high school team, high school cross-country teams, they run on these, and they've run on them for years. So that's why the paths are wide, they're well maintained. Pretty much all year long, when I was over here the other night, there were 4 or 5 young men doing their practices and just running through the trails. It's great in the wintertime, cross-country skis, snowshoes. The trails are well maintained. There are enough people here. If you come really late in the afternoon, you might be the only person here, so you got to use caution there, whether it's critters or not critters. But otherwise, it's a great place all year, 12 months a year.
Yeah. I was just say most of this is pretty dry, but I see reeds, so I just assume that's a wetland there.
Yep. So at the top of the meadow, we actually have but the Conservation Commission has contracted with a couple of farmers. They come up a couple of times a year and they hay the fields, and then they take the hay and they feed their animals with it. It's basically the bottom of the bowl here with the wetlands. This is where all the water drains. We just passed over a couple of underground streams. They come down from the top of Mylod and they just come through the woods, and they eventually work their way into the wetlands here. That's actually, this is one of the main reasons why this is conservation land, is because of the wetlands. You can see the cat nine tails, the reeds, goldenrod, and you'd never know unless you craned your neck a little bit and saw the stanchions with the light towers with the Little League field. You'd never really know that you're in scenic Norwood. Right. If you move down about 15 feet, you can actually see the Blue Hills from here, which is kind of cool.
Well, let's do that.
Okay.
Tune in to NCM to watch the full version as Jack and Joe take you 1.5 miles through the Endine Trail. Unfortunately, COVID forced the cancellation of this year's Norwood Farmers Market. There is nothing like buying fresh food from our local farmers, and because restrictions have been lifted, last Saturday, Oakdale Farms organized their own pop-up farmers market at the Grace Episcopal Church on Chapel Street. All the in-season vegetables were available, and plenty of residents took advantage of stopping by to pick up some fresh, naturally grown produce. In addition to the pop-up market, Oakdale Farms County Barn offers the opportunity to have fresh food from their farm delivered to your front door. Check out oakdalecountrybarn.com. This is a great way to support our local farmers whose businesses have been affected by COVID. As reported on Norwood News last week, the Rec Department will be offering drive-in movies at Mercer Parking Lot. This past weekend was the first drive-in and the turnout was great. NHS senior and movie night volunteer Joe Demaray thought it was a great opportunity for families to still have a night out and watch a movie.
So we're here at Mercer Parking Lot, drive-in theater, hosted by Boston Backyard Movies with the Rec Department, sponsored by Norwood Boosters Club. Me and a couple fellow hockey players are here directing spots for cars. Keep everything social distanced. Eye on the other end, Lysol can. Got to keep the bathroom sanitized. And yeah, we're just here, a couple hours, about to watch Spies in Disguise, probably the greatest movie of all time. I don't know, can't wait. It's just a really fun time here. Obviously, because of COVID, drive-in movies, you can't really go to a movie theater because obviously too closed in. Inside, outdoor, we got outdoor movies right here. Anyone can watch. It's always a fun time, even before COVID. People can just have picnics, sit out chairs, parking lot. It's just all in one package. Perfect.
Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.